Well, here we are, down in the storm drain. We made it from the railroad trestle. As you can see, it's a very dangerous place. It's obviously that bicyclist just didn't make it. I'm not surprised, being as we're out here in the middle of nowhere like we are. So, now that we're down in the storm drain, we will continue our adventure. We're headed toward a creek. That's some distance in the distance. I have this set up so that my dog will be able to help me pull it. But being as we're going into the unknown today, I decided to go alone. Ahead, you can see where a road crosses the storm drain. I maybe should have put swivel wheels on the front of this kayak cart that I built, but I don't know what disadvantages they may have offered. I think these were cheaper or more expensive, one of the two, I can't remember. We're making pretty good progress. I have 10-inch inflated wheels that quite easy to pull. As you can see, it can handle almost any terrain. Coming up ahead, we'll see how we do. Oh, come on. All right. There we go. We're getting closer to the overpass. There's the dog. That tells us hello. Hello, dog. Oh my. Hey. Now, this road and all these cars, which are all out in the middle of nowhere, tell me when that joke is getting old and I'll stop. This road is where someone could drive a car, park right over there, gain access to the storm drain if they chose, and avoid some of the difficulties that we have just traversed. And then they'd be along for the rest of the journey. All right. We're being run over by many cars. And here we've come out to the other side. Gotta go down a slight incline. Now, as you can see, we are in a rather deep gorge. I have a ways to go from this point. So, and the scenery, well, up there is a union hall. Isn't that exciting? Steam fitters and pipe fitters and plumbers union. I had a job offer to do medical records scanning, and they said as a condition of the employment I had to agree to travel 50 miles one way, no reimbursement for mileage, no pay until I got to the job site. I thought about coming down there to the union hall, because you can see it's obviously within walking distance, and asking them if I could join so that it would be plumbers, steam fitters, medical record scanners union. But then I decided not to. I just told them thank you anyway for that job, and they hired someone else. And I didn't have to pay union dues. I didn't have to breaking anybody's kneecaps. Or vote for Barack Obama. All as a condition of being a member of the union. So I guess everybody won. We're passing a warehouse district. As you can see, there's outlets for the water to gain access to the storm drain, which at current is quite dry. Way in the distance, I don't know if you can see it on here, but I can see it. Way in the distance is the beginning of the creek. I'd estimate from this point it's about half a mile. Since we've already come about half a mile, I would estimate the entire distance is about a mile and a quarter. Which isn't very far. There's another friend saying good morning. Hello, dog. Hello, dog. As you can tell, the sun is to our right, which means we are headed north because it's morning. The sun comes up in the east. I learned that. Forget where I learned that. Some more warehouses guarded with Constantine wire. This is an interesting area here. As you can see, the water has been fairly swift along here because the barbed wire is pulled down. And it looks like a swift current has flowed through there and dislodged that. It may be possible, after much rain. Ooh, there goes a fox or something. Don't know. Yeah, it's a fox. Don't know if you can see it very well. It's disappeared now. That was a fox. As you can see, another bicyclist met their doom. Ooh. That wasn't a good sound. Another bicyclist met their doom here. In the storm drain. Well, that was interesting. That fox. It's out in the middle of the daytime. Must be kind of hungry. It stopped and looked at me like it'd never seen someone pulling a kayak on a homemade trailer down the storm drain before. I mean, what's the big deal? As you can see, the sides have leveled out somewhat. Another access hole, drain pipe, drain the water off of all these warehouses and parking lots for used cars and homes. That border the storm drain. The steering on our cart tends to list to the right a little bit, it appears. Obviously something went wrong in quality control in the production. Drawing ever closer to the end of the storm drain. And now here are some more dogs. I don't know if you can see them. Hey, dog. Hey, dog. Whoa. Stepped in a hole. Now we come to a point where the vegetation is beginning to grow. Going gets a little rougher in the terrain. There are some little minnows in this pool. They must have swam up here when the storm drain was full, and now they are stuck. Stuck until either that little pool evaporates completely or another rain comes along that allows them to escape back to the main body of water. Of course, they probably don't note that. Here's a house with some other dogs that like to tell us hello. Many, many dogs. Hello, little dogs. And bigger dogs. Yes, I like to say hello. Now we are getting closer. Oh, there goes the fox. Can you see it? There goes the fox running. It's running, running, running. See, there it goes up the side. Might have been another fox, other than the first one. Here we come to an area where it's been repaired, apparently. As you can see, the surface is in better condition. we're also starting to accumulate more water as we draw ever nearer to the beginning of the creek. Also right here are a bunch of little tadpoles. I don't know, not tadpoles, they are little minnows that hide in those plants right there. Obviously they've come up here because there's plenty of food. No bigger fish can eat them, which gives me reason to think that there will be ample fish in this pond down in this area of the lake down here, which would possibly mean later fishing expeditions. But I don't know where it goes. I don't know anything other than it's here. And I'm here. And that is something. There's a rather major tributary that comes in there. And now the water begins in earnest. I think what I'm going to do mosey over to here to this relatively dry spot. I think it's thick enough to float the kayak down to the deeper water where I shall get in. There's the storm drain that adds to this one. There the creek begins. So, I will become the first person in the history of the world to ever launch a kayak at this location. This adds to the list of a number of things in which I have been the first or only person in the history of the world to experience. But if I told you what those things were, you wouldn't believe me. So I won't tell you. I'm going to need both hands to secure this, so we'll resume again shortly.